we have small spaces here. Small spaces. There's 4 little garden beds, rainbow carrots, and I've already done 3 of them this week where I thin them out. Let's see if I can be able to see. So, in the garden, we're thinning out our carrots. Got my trusty trowel, shovel. So originally, we had, this is a 2x4 bed, and it's probably about 16 or 18 inches tall, and we did 4 rows of carrot seed. We put some landscape fabric down and just some little channels. We sprinkled our seed, covered it up a little bit, put the landscape fabric on top, and then we watered it kept it moist for 7 days, took off after it sprouted. And then we had like a little hoop house to keep our birds out. There's lots of local birds here. Now we're at the point, I started these here in zone 9B, and we started these probably the 2nd week in September. So what I'm doing the hair, I'm being really, really gentle. I've cleaned out all of the leaf and debris because there's like little roly-polies in here, and you don't want bugs eating your veggies or the roots or any of that. So it's a good chance to go through here, and if you need to, sprinkle some diatomaceous earth. That'll help with any kind of bugs that you might have going on in here. And this is our first year growing them in these beds. We did it in the garden. I wanted to try them here because it can be time consuming to thin them out. And it probably took me, because I took my time, probably an hour and a half for each of these beds. So I'm going to go through here and pick out any more leaves. But what I'm doing is, I'm hoping you can see. So there's like 3 carrots here, right here. And I'm going to pull out the middle one. So we're going to put him aside. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving at least a good finger and a half size in between each carrot so that they can get to be a medium-sized carrot, because I'm actually going to be transplanting these. So when you pull them out, be really back and forward till they come out, because that's still a little carrot. And they'll make it. Some of them will make it. If they're too tiny, that one, I don't know, we'll see. Good, and they're kind of sitting on top of the surface, I pull those ones out too. So, hey, Kara. So we're just gonna pluck these out. Let me do some more. What's up, Bubba? Did you want to say hi to the people? Say hi, friends. Oh, so we're gonna rock and roll and rock the little carrots out. So we're leaving the strongest ones, the ones that are rooted really well, we're leaving those in there. And if there's some that are next to each other, but they're rooted really good, these are okay. I'll probably leave these in here together. And then as they get a little bit bigger, I'll probably just pull one out and we'll eat it. So the other one can get to its full size. Weed. Okay, so I didn't quite do the entire row. Now, the reason why we've got 4 rows and they're spaced out probably, there's like this much space in between each row. So after I've thinned out this entire row, I cut, and you want to go down at least about this much to loosen it up. Stand up and do it. Box in. And I'm just gonna go like this and basically start at the end, and I'll just stick my finger down in the dirt, show you here, but as far as here, long enough for this little carrot transplant to go in soil apart. And so that's how we're maximizing and multiplying our harvest. I've done this in the ground, and they transplant actually really well when you do it when the weather's still cool, a little bit easier because this was starting to get a little bit dry. So I moistened this yesterday and the root, and then that, so get to their full potential, which is about a quarter size, and that's when we grow for 5 months. So for 5 months, we're going to let these grow. We've got good compost mixed in from our chickens. So we've mixed in our clay and everything. So this is we've refreshed all these beds this year. So I'm really excited to see how they're going to grow, and I will bring you guys back here in 5 months to harvest them to see what they look like. So most of these transplants are going to make it. There might be a few, little bitty ones that might not make it. So as I thin them out, I try to pick out the best looking ones to transplant first, and anything that's really little we'll throw to our chickens. I thought I just might pop on here real quick and share with you just some tips of what we're doing here to maximize our space. We also have a lot of birds here. So here's a quick little tour. We put in a hoop house, kind of like a greenhouse without the greenhouse fabric, with the cattle panels and the chicken wire. And so this is where our greens are, so the birds don't get to them. We've got our Swiss chard, our tatsoi, the house that we're keeping, and just see what happens. Doesn't have too much success here because of the cold snaps. So, but we just figured since this is in the middle, it might be warm enough. We might get tomatoes early. So we've got some lettuces, collards, rutabagas, oops, moringa tree. So that's that. And then here we started a little bed here with a trellis. It's a cattle panel that we shaped into like a little later on. And then here's a peek at our little market garden. So we've got our 3 or 4 kinds of onions. There's like white Bermuda. So we've got that. We've got Malabar spinach growing, broccoli, rutabagas, purple kohlrabi, Detroit red beet. I got some fennel back here. These are more purple kohlrabi. There is our chickens, and they make our compost for us. So let me see if I can capture it up here. Yep, here is our ice cream bananas. We did over 50 pounds off of the last one. It was really, really big. And then we've got another pod there. And we've got a moringa tree here. And we've got some fig trees. And we have some more trees in the front. Mesh. And we made cages like for our tomatoes. And then he double stacked them. And we've got our loop. So we've got our loofer that we have for sale on our Etsy shop. And we've got a compost tumbler to finish off our compost. And then we've got this little bed down here with some more rainbow Swiss chard. And that is our urban space. There is another row over here by our bench of dandelion greens and some pineapples. Looks like collards, mums, and there we go. There's all the dandelion greens, and then we've got a pineapple. This one we harvested. There's 2 more, I think, gonna start for next year. And this is the one we harvested. We got the top and we replanted it. Let's see. We repotted it down there. So we got some buttercrunch lettuce. And that's what's going on in our backyard, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I figured people were asking me what we do for our carrots and how we get them to be a nice size. And it'll be a quick little tutorial on how I do quickly. So the compost from our chickens goes in there, mixed in with the clay soil and all that. But we've taken those water beads like you would get, I think they're called Zorbies, Z-O-R, and they just rehydrate with the water. So what I've done is taken about a cup or more of them rehydrated, and we mixed it into the soil. So it's very hot and dry here in South Texas, and we do not get as much rain as we really need to grow all this stuff, which is why we do rain catchment. But these beds tend to dry out a little bit more. So anything that's in a pot or like these metal raised beds, they tend to dry a little bit quicker. And so I've mixed in the water beads. It also means I water less, and they grow beautifully. And so like if you want to have a garden and take some time off, or maybe go away for a weekend or go on vacation, you would necessarily need a water system. In our market garden, we have set up our rain catchment with our drip water system, and that is set on a low pressure timer. The bed behind me here is, hi Kara, is on a drip system. And it is the, if I can get a photo of it, the Toro timer. We went to their website, and that one is for low pressure gravity, gravity fed systems. And so that one just has, I think, a little battery in it. And then so that's how we water most of the things here. Other things are watered by hand. And so that's how we're doing things here at our little urban farm here in South Texas. It's very easy. I might ask this question. If I've tried to thin them out when they're really tiny, transplanting them doesn't work out. They don't make it for whatever reason. They're just not big enough or something. So I wait for them to be a little bit bigger. This just seemed to be the right time to do it. And so I just figured I'd show you guys. So get out there and garden and grow something beautiful. Like, share, comment if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them down. But other than that, have a beautiful week.